Hey y'all, this is TradePost, a decentralized application built on the Goerli testnet. This is my team's final project from the ETH Denver in Code Club 8-week intensive Solidity Bootcamp that ended December 2022. So first thing we're going to do is follow the prompt. Localhost says, please connect to MetaMask to see your collection. So we click OK. We connect. So MetaMask is the leading self-custodial wallet. Self-custodial meaning you control your keys, which means you control your assets. When you turn your assets over to a company like FTX, you actually give up your assets because you send them to them, so you no longer control them. With your private keys, you don't have to worry about what the FTXs of the world do because your assets will be safe. This is the meta gallery. All these images are hosted on IPFS, which is Interplanetary File System. It's a decentralized storage network. So these images actually hosted on IPFS will eventually become the NFT, but these are not NFTs because these do not live on the Ethereum blockchain is a good way to think about it. So let's just jump into about, learn a little bit about who made this. This is our team. I'm Ryan O'Toole on the left. The rest of my team members were instrumental in this, and I couldn't have done it without them. Our vision, built with creatives in mind, TradePost was made to demonstrate the tools that digital asset marketplaces and game developers need to bring their ideas to Web3. So as we go back to the meta gallery, kind of think about a card trading game. It's a little abstract right now exactly what the play is like, but we're going to select something we think is really cool. So this Century card, this was all kind of based off like a music-ness. So all the attributes of the NFT are like music things like duration, body, tail. We also have the ability to mint this NFT here. So we're going to click mint, which is going to bring up a MetaMask transaction. And I'm not charging any money to mint this. Like I'm not making any money, but we used to have to pay gas fees basically to incentivize the network to take your digital file and create it a digital asset on the Ethereum blockchain. Miners don't want to work for free, so this is how they get paid. This is what incentivizes the network to run. Right now, we're doing all this with test money, but it works the same way on the real net. The only difference is the real net is totally incentivized by finance, and the test net as a beautiful community of developers who maintain it for testing purposes, but it does function the same way. So what just happened? Our NFT was made. Now it's a digital asset on the Ethereum blockchain. Once the Solidity side of the code, Solidity is the language to make Ethereum smart contracts. Once that event finishes, it emits the event. I have event listeners set up on the JavaScript front end, and they pick this up. And this is where we get the token ID, the contract address, and this little link that I set up just as a simple alert on the JavaScript side. So now we're immediately sent to OpenSea, which is a marketplace for NFTs. This is the OpenSea testnet. So it's all test NFTs, but it functions in exactly the same way. So you know if it works here, it will work on the mainnet. We're going to check the levels, which are those attributes we discussed. The important one to really notice here is the redeemed. So it's just a 0 or a 1. 0 corresponds with false on the JavaScript side, and 1 would correspond with true. It can only be redeemed once. So think about like a music lesson attached to this NFT. The idea being you can only redeem it once. I set it up as a Boolean because the Solidity side needs numbers turned into strings, and the JavaScript side needs a Boolean. So I had to do a little conversion, but I made it all work. Okay, awesome. So let's hit this little escape button. We go back to their collection. Back to our meta gallery, sorry. So now we want to jump into collection. We see the NFT we just minted, which is awesome because it belongs to us. It knows it is ours because the public wallet address associated with this account is stored in a mapping on the Solidity side. So this 0xD382107, that public address is correlated controls this NFT. So now we want that free music lesson, right? Why not? Let's learn something today. So what? I thought it was free. Remember the gas concept though. So we're just paying gas. The lesson is free, but we have to incentivize the miners to change the state of the Ethereum blockchain. And since the state of the blockchain, remember, it was a 0 and we're changing it to a 1 on our NFT. Our NFT lives on the blockchain. So changing that 0 to a 1 is going to require gas because we're changing the state of the blockchain. So this redeemed as false is going to change to true once that new binary value comes from the Solidity side, and I convert it to a Boolean value on the JavaScript side. So waiting for this transaction to be added to a block and approved. It just was. Now we see it's true. We cannot redeem it again since you can only get your music lesson once. So now we go back, go to Meta Gallery. You can mint more if you would like, but if we go back to our collection, it is still redeemed. We cannot redeem it. Thanks, y'all, for listening. I hope you learned something. I definitely did creating this, and more Web3 projects to come soon. Take care, y'all.